The Blue Jays are about to make a move that nobody saw coming. While everyone's obsessing over Tucker and Boshette, Toronto's front office has been quietly working on something that could change everything. A bombshell report just dropped from Mitch Bannon at The Athletic, and this one's different. We're talking about a player who could sign within the next 24 hours, and the Jays are right in the thick of it. This isn't speculation anymore. This is real. This is happening, and you need to hear what's going on before this player makes his decision. The name you need to know is Kazuma Okamoto. If you haven't been paying attention to Japanese baseball, you're about to get educated real fast. Okamoto's posting window closes Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern, which means teams have less than 48 hours to get a deal done. Multiple reports are indicating he's expected to make his decision in the next day, and here's the kicker. The Blue Jays are heavily involved. Mitch Bannon, one of the most reputable reporters covering baseball, just confirmed Toronto's interest, and when Bannon puts his name on something, you better believe there's substance behind it. What makes this even more significant is that this isn't an isolated report. Jon Heyman dropped news last night that the Padres, Cubs, Jays, Red Sox, and Pirates are all interested in Okamoto, two credible insiders reporting the same thing within hours of each other. That's not coincidence. That's smoke, and where there's smoke in baseball's offseason, there's usually fire. We've seen this pattern before. When multiple reporters start confirming interest from the same teams, it typically means a signing is imminent. The pieces are falling into place. Now let's talk about why Okamoto makes so much sense for Toronto. This guy's versatility is off the charts. In Japan, he primarily played first base and third base, but evaluators believe he can handle corner outfield duty in the right situation. For a Blue Jays team that's been searching for answers in left field and flexibility across the diamond, Okamoto checks every box. Think about it. You could slot him in left field and suddenly your entire offseason strategy opens up in ways it didn't before. You could pair Okamoto in left with Boshette at second base. You could bring in Tucker and have Okamoto provide infield depth. The configurations are endless, and that's exactly what Ross Atkins and the front office love. Ben Nicholson-Smith from Sportsnet just weighed in on this, and even though he's known for keeping fan expectations tempered, his comments are revealing. He confirmed that teams view Okamoto as having a higher floor than Munetaka Murakami, who just signed with the White Sox. Low strikeout rate combined with legitimate power. That's a profile that translates to Major League Baseball. Nicholson-Smith noted that Pittsburgh is involved but appears to be on the outside looking in. That's crucial information because it narrows the field. If you're looking at the Red Sox, Padres, Cubs, and Blue Jays as the remaining serious contenders, Toronto's Pacific Rim scouting presence gives them a legitimate advantage. The Blue Jays have invested heavily in understanding Japanese and Korean baseball. They've built relationships, they've done their homework, and they've been aggressive in pursuing talent from that market. They went hard after Shode Managa before he signed with the Cubs. They were in on Yoshinobu Yamamoto. They showed interest in Munetaka Murakami. This isn't a front office that's just window shopping. They're serious about acquiring impact talent from overseas, and Okamoto represents another opportunity to add a quality bat without breaking the bank. Let's talk numbers, because Okamoto's production in Japan speaks for itself. Last season in the NPB, he posted an OPS over 1,000. We're talking about consistent power, excellent on-base skills, and a proven track record against high-level competition. Yes, there's always risk when projecting Japanese players to MLB, but Okamoto's profile suggests he can handle the transition. His approach at the plate is advanced, his power is legitimate, and his ability to play multiple positions gives him value even if there's an adjustment period. Here's where this gets really interesting for Blue Jays fans. If Toronto lands Okamoto, it completely changes how you can construct the rest of the roster. Forget the pressure of landing both Tucker and Boshette, which always felt like a long shot financially. Now you're looking at scenarios like Okamoto and Tucker or Okamoto and Boshette. Either combination gives you two significant offensive upgrades without requiring the massive financial commitment of pursuing multiple top-tier free agents simultaneously. Okamoto isn't going to command Tucker money or Boshette money. He's cost-effective, he's versatile, and he's available right now. Think about a potential lineup with Springer leading off, Tucker in right field, Guerrero at first, and Okamoto splitting time in left field with Santander. Or flip it. Keep Tucker out of the equation and go with Okamoto, Boshette, and use the financial flexibility to address pitching or add depth elsewhere. The point is that Okamoto unlocks options that didn't exist before. That's why this report from Bannon is so significant. It's not just about one player. It's about the strategic flexibility that player provides. Social media erupted after these reports dropped, and rightfully so. Blue Jays fans on Twitter immediately started gaming out different roster configurations. Some prefer Okamoto paired with Boshette because it keeps Addison Barger in the mix with a clearer defensive home. Others want Okamoto and Tucker because it gives you two proven run producers without the defensive concerns that come with Bochette's potential position change. Both arguments have merit, and that's exactly the kind of problem you want to have. These are good decisions to wrestle with, not desperate Hail Mary attempts to salvage an offseason. What you're seeing here is a front office that learned from past mistakes. The Jays missed out on Shohei Ohtani. They struck out on Aaron Judge. They watched other teams be more aggressive while they hesitated. This time feels different. They're in contact with representatives for Boshette, Tucker, Bregman, and now we know they're pursuing Okamoto. They're not putting all their eggs in one basket. They're creating multiple pathways to success, and that's smart roster construction. Nicholson-Smith clarified after his initial comments that the Blue Jays' best-case scenario absolutely includes adding an impact bat, and that remains very much in play. But he also reminded everyone that free agency doesn't always go according to plan, and Toronto knows that better than most franchises. That's why having legitimate interest in multiple players across different price points is essential. You can't control whether Tucker wants to stay in Houston or whether Boshette prefers Boston. What you can control is having alternatives that still move the needle. The timeline here is critical. Okamoto's window closes in less than 48 hours. Decisions are being made right now, behind closed doors, in conversations between agents and front offices. When Bannon reports that a signing could happen within 24 hours, he's not speculating. He's telling you that negotiations are advanced and a resolution is imminent. The Blue Jays are positioned to be serious players for Okamoto's services, and if they land him, it immediately shifts the narrative around this offseason. There's also the Bregman factor to consider. Multiple reports suggest that Bochette's market is tied to what happens with Bregman. If Bregman signs first, it triggers movement elsewhere because teams will know which options are off the board. The Red Sox and Blue Jays are both involved with multiple players, creating a complex chess match where one move affects everything else. Landing Okamoto doesn't prevent Toronto from also pursuing Boshette or Tucker. It gives them a foundational piece to build around while they continue negotiations on other fronts. Let's address the elephant in the room. Some fans will look at Okamoto and dismiss him because he's not a household name in North America. That's short-sighted. Japanese baseball has consistently produced impact major league players, and Okamoto's profile suggests he can be productive immediately. You're not talking about a project or a gamble. You're talking about a player with a proven track record, advanced offensive skills, and defensive versatility. That has value regardless of where he played previously. The next 24 to 48 hours are going to be crucial. Okamoto will make his decision. Other dominoes will start to fall. The Blue Jays are positioning themselves to be active participants in multiple markets simultaneously, and that's exactly the approach they need to take. Whether it's Okamoto, Tucker, Boshette, Bregman, or some combination thereof, Toronto is clearly committed to improving this roster. The question isn't whether they'll add talent. The question is which talent they'll add and how those pieces fit together. What makes this moment so compelling is that it feels different from previous off-seasons. There's urgency, there's aggression, there's a clear understanding that running back essentially the same roster isn't good enough. Okamoto represents an opportunity to add a quality bat without the prolonged negotiation process that comes with top-tier American free agents. His window closes Sunday. If the Jays want him, they need to act decisively, and everything we're hearing suggests they're prepared to do exactly that. So, where does this leave us? With less than 2 days until Okamoto's posting window closes, with multiple credible reports confirming